Folks, welcome to Frogger. Frogger Town. Frogger 2, PlayStation.
Welcome to Frogger, where we're playing Speed Bump.
Got 6 players.
I wasn't sure if this was the one I played as a kid. I think this is the one I played as a kid. I think I had this on PC.
It was on a couple things, including the Saturn, it looks like, or the Dreamcast, maybe.
All right, I'm going to get our players going.
Pulling Okami's audio for this one. This is the PlayStation 1 version. They have 30 minutes to make progress.
Yeah, I feel like these PlayStation Frogger games weren't particularly well received, but at least that's kind of my perception. But I really liked them. I found them really charming.
Yeah, that's what they are. Anyway, here's burping. 30 minutes of burping. I do like the like Frogger's too simple as an arcade game, but they what they're doing here works.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the name of that modern indie game. Like, it's really simple. It's just like hopping across the road quickly, multiplayer arcade game.
Oh, Crossy Road.
That's it. Yeah, I played that recently.
Nice. Did you win?
Yeah. Since it was just a versus thing, I won in that sense.
This is like weirdly nostalgic for me. I was thinking that the game I had played as a kid was the first Frogger. And now I think I was wrong. I think this is the one I played, and this is like hitting me right in the nostalgia bone.
It's so fast. Ridiculous. This isn't the only game to get this kind of treatment. Pong has a extreme character who's alive and is also a stick. And
wait, I'm sorry?
Eats Doritos and flips around the screen in this style of game. That was a remake that also came out around the same time.
Pong got a treatment like this?
It sure did. A PC Atari game.
Were there other, like, was this just something Wild Atari was doing with some of its old IPs? Are there other games like this?
The Mountain Dew Nation of video games from the 80s.
I'm not even going to try to make sense of that.
Chester Cheetah plays Pong. He plays it like this.
I'm probably completely blinded by nostalgia, but I'm looking at this right now and I'm like, wow, this looks like a lot of fun. I wonder if our players are feeling that way at all. He's just throwing those frogs.
I haven't played this personally, but it looks like fun to me. I'd like what's going on around here. It's a little snappy. That's okay. I think it's zoomed out far enough that I don't think this is unfair. It's reactable.
Yeah, I saw some people talking when I announced the game in the Speed Bump channel that the first one, the first Frogger game for the PlayStation, was much harder, and one of the reasons was because it was a lot more zoomed in.
I think that Frogger at its core is a grid-based reaction timing game. It's got some elements that always will work. As long as they're not being mean.
Yeah, I think these just kind of work as is.
Pong on the other
And I think
hand,
a big piece of that is that, like, if you're already familiar with the arcade game Frogger, this has a lot of the same bones.
sad frogs, crying Battletoads.
Well, maybe we can make the Battletoads happy if they discover that their friend Frogger was actually alive the whole time. He faked his own death.
There are some load times.
This seems like a pretty punishing segment right now that we're seeing Spritz on this boulder escape.
Okami, and a couple of the other players, they didn't even bother with the coins, they just skipped through it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any requirement for you to get the coins. I think you might be required to get all of the baby frogs in order to finish the level.
I don't see how that could be, because you wouldn't be able to get back. Like on this roller coaster that's happening.
I think it forces... I think there's ways to backtrack if you miss any of them. But I could be misremembering.
Collectathon, Frogger. Meister ambushing.
Yeah, we're seeing 4 players now already on World 2. And 2 of our players are just wrapping up World 1, if I'm not mistaken. How are you enjoying the sound effects, the constant burping sounds?
That's classy.
Are they working for you?
It's a classy of game.
Were you a big Frogger fan back in the day? Pretty dynamite at the arcade game?
My dad is a big on all these arcade games. He had that jacket with all the Boy Scout arcade patches that I have now as my property. And Frogger is certainly on there. I'm looking at the box art for this. It tells you exactly what they did to Frogger, just looking at the style.
I think we lost Okami's feed there.
Oh man, that's so quiet without the burps.
I know.
Hey, I'm gonna switch audio over to player 2 here for a second.
Hey.
Hey.
Pink Kitty Rose seems to be in the lead at the moment. Making really good progress.
It's true.
I think that they mentioned that they had played the game before. This was one that they had played the PC port growing up, kind of like I did. Yeah, these load times are pretty heinous even for the PlayStation.
The wonders of CD tech. It's something that nobody complained about, like a single time during the era. Ever. Nobody, ever. Not once. We switched off of the carts. We had no times then, and all of a sudden we did, and we're just like, yep. Price you pay. Nobody gave it a second thought. But they are very long now. Resident Evil is one of the worst with the doors.
Oh yeah, every door being a load zone. And you go through a door and you're like, oh, I forgot to do something in the last room, so then you get 2 loads back to back.
For a game where all you do is walk from small room to small room. I saw this thing that's happening on Pink Kitty Rose's screen. Thought it was neat looking. With the wheels really fast, rolling across tiles.
Yeah. But it kind of like shows you where the safe spots are.
Then you got your classic Frogger action.
My favorite part of classic Frogger is when they start shooting the guns at you.
Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 1 is probably the worst. The PC version has none at all. But anytime you open the menu, anytime the dude is talking, which is all the time, you can't do anything until it loads. It takes forever. It's like if you were playing Link to the Past, because that is a Zelda-like of a sort, the first one. And every time you open the menu, it took 20 seconds. Switch your item from hookshot to bombs or whatever it is you wanted to do.
A wild choice.
That game's interesting because they have fairies in the form of Hearts of Darkness, vampire gothic stuff. But you can have 100 of them. You can have so many that you couldn't possibly lose. For this grim, dark, edgy game to make you that immortal.
Evil can't be killed. It can only be slowed down. I've never played a game like quite that bad, but it does remind me of the early days of N64 emulation, where like if you paused in Ocarina of Time, there was like this really, really, really long hitch every single time you would pause. Our players are making great progress. We'll look up how many levels there are in this game. I'm starting to get a little nervous we're going to run out of them.
Looks like there are 30 levels according to the box art.
I think that probably counts more than just story mode, because story mode, it looks like there's like approximately 15 levels.
Up to 4 players, multiplayer. What's that like?
Oh, I've never had that many friends.
Does this
I have no idea.
AI Arena? I'll load it up and check.
Oh my god, I cannot believe Okami survived that. What a clutch play.
Checking out those bonus games.
Yeah, it looks like there's 10 chapters, but it's not clear to me how they break down exactly. This GameFAQs page seems like it's about 15 levels.
Four-player multiplayer. minigame looking thing. No AI mode, no. Are these ants?
Yeah, looks like it.
Why is he weak to ants? They are ants.
Oh no. Pink Kitty Rose is doing really well right there. Nice. Well, if this listing is accurate, it looks like Pink Kitty Rose is about halfway through the game at this point. Okami as well.
Time for the lava zone.
A third to a half of the way through the game.
This is a very late PlayStation release, the year 2000. This is older than Into the Life than like Valkyrie Profile.
They knew the PlayStation was done, but they knew also that the people craved more Frogger, and they weren't about to disappoint.
They weren't about to release it on the PS2. So there's just not a whole lot you can do with this, the way they've designed it. Most of the levels are avoiding ants or beetles crawling in a circle. The other obstacles are much more interesting, but they're much less common.
Right. Yeah, just having enemies on patrol is like the most straightforward obstacle, and so they've used it quite a lot.
I think it's an obstacle that's... I don't even want to qualify it as an obstacle. It just slows you down.
Yeah, I mean, that sort of challenge is most interesting when there's like several of them, so you're trying to find the right timing. But even then, it's not... I don't know. I mean, it is the core gameplay loop of the original Frogger game, so it makes sense to bring it in here.
Yeah, I think Okami might be in the lead now. And Kitty Rose is still working on the Volcano Zone.
Yeah, Okami's been about a half a level ahead of Pink Kitty Rose for a little while now. Saxy Assassin is next up, so I think the distance between Okami and Saxy is one stage, and Pink Kitty Rose is right in the middle.
Trouble with the bridge.
Yeah, there's a game mode referred to as Super Retro, which has levels that kind of simulate the original Frogger's gameplay, but I mean in 3D, so.
They really throw extra lives at you, but you burn through them so fast.
Yeah, it definitely still seems to be catching some people off occasionally. You know, you find an obstacle that you just die to easily and you can burn through all the lives you've got, so.
I can't believe there's a power called Quick Hop when you're already as fast as you are. Welcome to Chemical Plant.
Oh, this part that Okami's on is kind of tedious. The pace is like too slow for this.
Yeah. They're trying to like sync up the platforms here. They are not correct.
Well, I think you have to do a big hop to get to the. Okay, there we go. Need to hit that button in the middle in order to spawn a platform that bridges the gap.
Are you not able to do the jump off of them?
You probably can. I think Okami was having a hard time timing it though, because it's not instantaneous. It's quite a long jump, so it takes a lot of time.
Damn frogs. Only a couple minutes left. Pink Kitty Rose maybe will get out of the volcano zone here soon. No bosses, no disgusting like Bomberman bosses in Frogger, thankfully.
Oh, you don't like the Bomberman 64 bosses or anything like that?
I'm used to them being big and silly.
Bomberman 64 has some really nasty bosses.
Oh man, robots that chase. This place is ridiculous. Is it like tile based? They don't chase you until you move again, or are they actually that fast?
I'm not sure.
I think they're just
It seems
waiting.
like they move every time you move.
Yeah. They were going so fast it felt like it was inhuman trying to react to these, but the players were causing it. What?
Yeah, that's a bit silly.
Last minute. Pink Kitty Rose did make it to the bio zone. That's as far as anyone's gotten here. Saxy's there as well. So there are 3 front runners. Okami's in the level beyond these 2.
Yeah, Okami grabbed the lead at a certain point and held on to it, so that's pretty good. Okami is in Research Facility. Pink Kitty Rose and Saxy Assassin are in Disco Lab. Spritz is in Lava Palaver. And I think Ant's Nest for Patty Bees and Pyramid Climb for Jasper Team. So
Time is up. The race is complete. Frogger 2. Exciting platforming. Goofing around. Frogger time. I've never seen this one before.
yeah, like I said, this was a huge nostalgia hit for me. I did not realize this was the one that I played growing up. For some reason, I had always thought that that was the first Frogger.
Let's take a look at our board here. Saxy with 9, Okami probably with 10. PKR probably with 9 as well. Jaspertine and Patty with 6. Spritz with 7. Sweet. That was cool.
That was a lot of fun.
Thanks for joining me for Frogger Author Blues. Your expertise on Frogger is appreciated.
Take care.
Have a good one.